What's up, guys? I'm gonna make this intro brief, right? Third time trying to record this video because my iPhone has been saying, Logan, your storage sucks, empty me out. So I just got done doing that, and now, without further ado, I'm gonna explain to you guys why you should be wrestlers before you should be bodybuilders. Now, you might be asking yourself, Logan, why would I need to be a wrestler before I was a bodybuilder? You know, I'm feeling good at where I'm at, or I feel good where I'm about to be. You know, maybe you're about to start bodybuilding, maybe you already have, right? Maybe you're in wrestling and you want to do bodybuilding. Whatever it may be, I'm here to explain why you should before you do. Anyways, because the thing is, right, and don't click off, right, you need this. Bodybuilding deals with cutting, bulking, dedication, hard work, and endurance. So does wrestling. Wrestling is the extreme version of that. Say what you want, wrestling is the hardest sport you can practice for. It is the hardest sport you can train for. It is the hardest sport. You can have your opinions on that, and I can have mine. That's just the way I see it. Now, we're going to start with cutting. Wrestling, you cut like no other. Whether it's coming up to a competition or it's just a small try, you and two other teams are about to wrestle off, see who's the best. Now, whatever it may be, cutting is a very, very valuable aspect in terms of making weight and being able to compete, right? The methods that us wrestlers use for cutting are very cruel to ourselves, right? I remember one time I didn't eat for a whole day, didn't drink water, nothing, and I was on the treadmill for like a total of 5 hours, you know, making myself puke essentially. And, you know, physically and metaphorically, just in terms of effort, you know, just to lose weight, to barely make it by 0.1 of a pound, just to wrestle a guy. Now, the instance I'm talking about specifically, I did win, only because of my hard work and my dedication to that cut. The reason I'm using that as an example is because I want you guys to see it the way I see it transferring into bodybuilding. You have to be willing to suffer terribly, physically, mentally, emotionally, to lose that weight. It's not just an overnight thing where you're like, all right, I'm on the treadmill, I feel good, you know, I just lost 5 pounds. Sorry to tell you, Sally, that 5 pounds was water, right? And it's no big deal. You did lose a little bit of fat, but mainly through the carbohydrates that were burned, that were inside of your system. Of course, they were replaced with your next meal, and if you didn't eat them, they were replaced with the fat from your body. So you did lose a little bit of weight, but in retrospect, that 5 pounds was 4.8 pounds of water, and then, you know, barely any fat, really, is what I'm trying to say. But, as I was saying though, from wrestling, lost train of thought for a second. It is from that you learn that water is everything in terms of cutting, right? And I'm sorry if I'm tripping over my words. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this for you guys to understand. But the way I want you to see it with cutting is that water weight comes and goes. And as wrestlers, we know that. As bodybuilders, I hope you know that just as much. Now, don't get me wrong, hydration is important, but it also plays a key role in how you lose weight. You need it to sustain yourself. You need it to feel like you're a living being. But if you're cutting, you're gonna feel like dookie, but you need to bring it down. That way, you'll see a better difference over a faster period of time. Because you'd be doing what Sally does, treadmill, every day of the week. You lose about half a pound in 2 weeks. That's if you're eating, you know, your regular 3 meals a day, you know, all that. Now, let's take Joe. Let's say Joe is the next guy. He's a wrestler. He knows what he's doing. Joe goes on the treadmill also, you know, almost every day of the week, basically. But he only eats, let's say, 2 meals a day. He's going to lose a pound. And he's also going to be drinking less water. So therefore, his body is going to get hotter. Therefore, it's going to burn more calories. Therefore, he's going to lose more weight. The reason he's going to get hotter is because he's wearing sweats. Sally is in her Nike Bros running in tennis shoes, right? So if you see the difference I'm trying to get at is that it matters what you wear, it matters what you eat, it matters what you drink. If you wrestle, you will understand that, because it just by deciding your weight on a cut decides your whole next, month. Because you want to be able to make those meets, you want to be able to compete, you want to be able to be this guy that's gonna be able to, come in and win and go home and, be satisfied with himself. And that's what you need to learn in bodybuilding, is that cutting, it takes that hard work, it takes that dedication, it takes the extra layers, extra hard work, extra dedication, and it's gonna take things from you. Take water, take food, it's gonna take your time, it's gonna take your dedication. Now, if we're gonna get into the bulking aspects of it, bodybuilders and wrestlers bulk very differently. And the difference I want you guys to learn if you're gonna be going into bodybuilding is that wrestlers don't bulk with junk food. A lot of you guys I've seen have been bulking with junk food, and I don't like that. I don't like to see that. I don't like to acknowledge it, but I have to acknowledge it, and which is one of the reasons I'm making this video. Now, for wrestlers, if we're bulking, we don't need junk. Why? Because junk makes us fat. And if we get fat, our coaches get mad at us, and they make us run sprints. Not fun, because they tell us we run 5, we end up running 25. Anyways though, as a wrestler, right, if I'm bulking like I was last year, which is crazy to say that it's already been a year. Anyways though, I'll be eating meat, I'll be eating fruits and vegetables, I'll be eating things that my body will turn into the utmost of effective use of food, basically. The fruit will fuel me, and the meat will build up my muscles. And there's not really a lot of bad fats and bad sugars that are going to be getting into me, making me fat, plump. You guys on the bodybuilding scale, right? If you've ever seen a wrestler in a varsity tier of one of the best, you see every single one of his muscles. He's not even a bodybuilder. But you see you guys bulking, right? And it's kind of a lumpy mess. You can see it, but it's not all there. Now, don't get me out with a Logan, they're basically cutting 24/7. How can you use that as an example? Well, I can, because I was one of those wrestlers. I had pretty good definition on my arms, very good definition on my back, and I had very clear abs. I was eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, a lot of meat. And it's because of that while I was still bulking and gaining weight, I could still see all of that in the process. They might say, Logan, that's going to be so much longer. It's going to take so much longer for you to get big. That's understandable, but I'm also maintaining a well-toned physique in the process, which is what I want you guys to understand, which is something that Ronnie Coleman did. He maintained a very low body fat percentage while still building mass, which is going to be my comparison to bodybuilding. You don't have to be big and fat to be big and strong, to look good, to be good. It's all about what you eat and how you do with what you eat, from the energy you get from it to the training you use for it, right? But that's that little part out of the way. Bulking and cutting, very important, very separate aspects. Got a picture of me right there, very skinny. That's when I started out wrestling, right? A few years later, and now this is me now. All because of what I know from wrestling is transferred over to bodybuilding. I know I haven't talked the best, I haven't said it in the best way in this video, but it's just, my idea of portraying to you guys what you need to know to do what you need to do. And really quick, getting into the cardio aspect. If you guys are cutting, try wrestling cardio. It's a full body workout, If you're just doing stance and motion, if you're sprawling, if you're in, doing whatever, doing drills, it will burn more calories than you could ever imagine. It's a lot. And then mix it in with your workouts too. Wrestle practice in the morning, lift at night. It's going to be hell on earth, but if you do that for a month, I promise you, you will see difference and you will see results in a timely manner within the first week. But hey, that's just that, Anyways though, that's going to be the conclusion of this video, right? I was just wanting to explain to you guys why you should wrestle before you bodybuild. And that's kind of my take on it, Do what you will with it, but, my opinion is my opinion, and so is yours. But please do consider it, It is a skill to have. It is knowledgeable self-defense that you may need someday. And it's just a valuable sense of skill, as I just said. But that's going to be today's video. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed. It wasn't too entertaining, but it was a little bit informal, you know, as I try to be. But once again, you know, that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you guys experienced, you know, some kind of intellectual awakening now, you know. But all jokes aside, I'll see you guys later. Have an amazing day. And just remember, someone does love you. And you just gotta smile about that. But have an amazing day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.